Tonight's 3-on-3 lineup, Boston pokes fun at the Cavaliers. Are you saving enough now to retire when you want? And a catcalling crackdown. Danielle Serino joins Chris Ty and myself here on the set.
I'll say that 5 times fast, huh? Catcalling crackdown.
I didn't even know catcalling continued.
I didn't either. That's why this.
But we'll get to that.
Go to New York.
Okay. Yeah.
Trust me.
Our friends at NBC Sports Boston took a swipe at the Cavs as the Celtics, of course, are up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Pending what happened Saturday night, they came up with a list of the most useless Cleveland Cavaliers. Here it is. The list is the top 5, consisting of Ty Lue, the coach, J.R. Smith, Jordan Clarkson, George Hill, and at number 1 is Jeff Green. Let me point that out. Why Jeff Green? Why do they pick on Jeff Green?
He makes no money. Let's start with that.
Well, he used to play for the Celtics. He
I
was
didn't
an
know that.
ineffective Celtic when he was there.
Oh,
Let me ask you a question. Wasn't it the last playoffs round, or maybe 2 ago, where we had the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals? And it was Dan Shaughnessy who took some real unfair punches at Cleveland, and I think actually had to do an apology.
He did.
Or did something mea culpa-wise. Why is it that Boston, your beloved hometown, I know, why is it that Boston media really likes to sharpen the knives? We don't get this with San Francisco. We don't get this with Chicago. We don't get this with Indianapolis. We get it with Boston. Mr. Donovan.
A report from Market Watch. I don't know.
It is
Chris,
interesting.
I think
that is true.
to
They
be
do
honest
that
with
a
you,
lot.
Yeah, okay. I think that, in the NHL, you get a 5-minute penalty for piling on.
They're a little salty over there.
They are.
It's a tough media
Do you
town.
think they look down? I think they
I don't
do.
know.
Yeah, because
they look down most people.
I remember the Dan Shaughnessy column, and he talked about it's a dying city.
Yeah.
Baseball's dead there
Yeah.
and everything, and it's not true at all. Obviously.
I agree.
Yeah, and he did have to come out.
I think, there are certain times.
that's an easy line.
It's an easy line.
That's an easy line.
I mean, the New York Post, the New York media is also very hard. The Chicago media is hard.
But they're hard on New Yorkers as well, the Post. I
Yeah.
mean, they beat up on everybody.
Yeah, fair.
A report from Market Watch says by age 35, you should have twice your salary saved for retirement. It sounds like it makes sense, but more than 40% of Americans have less than $10,000 socked away for retirement. The report also got a lot of backlash from young working professionals who find it an unreasonable expectation given the amount of debt that they have racked up and are carrying relatively low wages that they're earning. Now, you've done stories about this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad that they think it's unfair to put away that much money, but the bottom line is what's Social Security? $1,200 a year? I mean, you're close to the poverty level.
Right.
So you better start saving.
Though the new generation younger generation, I should say, does have a gripe that college is so much more expensive for them than it was when we were in school. So they do have a little steeper climb than their parents did. But as far as saving, there's you have to save or it's not going to be there.
He's right. It's much harder in terms of the debt that they carry, but the reality is what it costs to live.
Right.
Social Security is $1,200?
Yeah, they average 12 or, excuse me, $1,400 a month. That's the average, $1,400 a month. You add
Not
that
that
up,
I'm close to that.
You add that over the year, that's only a few thousand more than the federal poverty level.
I want to get to this before France is cracking down on catcalling. Men caught in the act could face up to $885 in fines. It's a move by the French federal government to stiffen sexual harassment
Ty's
laws.
going bankrupt now.
Never. No.
How to get you back from yesterday?
Never. Let me just say this. This man
I had to get him back from yesterday.
I understand. All right, tell me about it. You said you go to New York. You say, if you want to hear cackles, give us a little sample of what we're talking about.
I cannot even say it on the air.
Come on.
Don't just comment on your body parts as you're walking by.
Still in New York City.
I haven't been there in, a little while, but it was certainly when I was growing up there for sure.
And now we were talking earlier about the difference between Boston, say, and Cleveland and Chicago. Is it the difference here? Is the catcalling in a city like New York a little more piercing than it is here?
I don't find it here at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
No,
okay.
but the funny thing is that part of this law says you can get fined if you keep harassing a woman repeatedly for her telephone number and she doesn't want to give you her number.
Oh.
So.
All right.
Hashtag drop it off. Right?
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Right?
We got to cut this off right now.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you very much. No, it was terrific.